Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. Today I have with me once again our friend and student Arvind, from whom we've done so many interviews. But Arvind has been a loyal, let's say, student of Synchro Shakti Academy for a long time. And one of the programs he's done has been Healy Fest and AA and all of these things.
Yeah,
But a lot of it he has learned mindfulness from. So today I want to talk to Arvind about how, for him, shifting on the inside healed so many of his relationships. And today we're taking three major relationships that I think most people deal with. One
yeah,
is the colleague, one is the boss, and the other is your romantic partner.
right,
So
yeah.
let's look at these three cases today. So welcome Arvind back onto the channel.
Thank you, Kartika. I'm looking forward for this interview, and it is always a pleasure to meet you. And I'm already seeing the next kind of energy shift in my whole life. I think every time I talk to you and I interview here, I can see that the flow of abundance in every area of my life. I'm
Yeah.
super excited to
Plugged
start
in.
this interview.
Yeah. Superb. So let's start off with your struggle with your colleague.
Yeah.
Tell me about that story.
Yeah. So I think the before even starting it, how would I came to you is I was actually going through a rough phase in my life back in 2021, and there are a lot of one after other, a lot of challenges I was facing in my finances, my relationships, and all of them. And I think that's when I came to know about you about breaking the old patterns. And I think the one of the you introduced me about the pain body exercise, and it'll give a background about you told me that you can literally use any kind of struggle or uneasiness you're going through a body. It's most of the things is you're creating your own struggle. It is not that we always see that external party why he is not behaving like this, and we always put a blame on others, but most of the things is created internally. So that is when I started working on the 3 days breaking patterns. And then immediately you launched about Healy Fest. I just got into it. The first thing which I really worked on during the Healy first month itself is a conflict which I was going through my colleague. And yeah, it was like every single day there's a lot of disturbance. I was going through a lot of anxiety things, because what happened is in my office, I supposed to be the one who stay longer, because Expo was a limited period event, and instead of me, and they put his name into my place, and they put me into leaving away from the company. That is
Mm.
what has happened. And when because I had a very good rapport and very good, because of the good work, I had a good relationship with my big boss, and he put me back into the staying back. And from that time onwards, this person was behaving more awkward. He thinks that okay, I became a competition to him, and every single day whatever I say, he say opposite to it, and he creates a conflict, and he creates a lot of disturbance during the whole journey. And I was not knowing that. I was always thinking that that other person is what is creating all the challenges, all of that. But I think you mentioned me very clearly in the Healy Fest is whatever you feeling is, until and unless there is nothing inside you, you will not experience in outside world. So that is when I think first couple of weeks of our Healy Fest was more about a healing. Then I choose to heal from this particular person. And I still remember we have written a money cleanse letter of writing down every single emotion what I felt. I wrote down a full letter, and I used to sit with a pain body for long hours. I think he's one of the toughest person where I had a lot of struggle I was facing in office, and I used to hate even go to office because of I don't want to face this kind of things. And I did almost like 4 to 5 hours of pain body, and just I was bringing back all the emotions and feel that pain. And most of the my pain was used to come in the chest area. I used to keep observing. And I also tell you that I think during that time we had that so WhatsApp. I used to send you a lot of voice notes about how was the journey, and you just said that just embrace the pain, just love the pain, hug the pain, let it flow. And exactly after 2 to 3 settings, I can see that I was started feeling better. I could see some kind of my anxiety and my internal that uneasiness started releasing it. Even if I see him, I was okay. I think that whole process of pain body meditation, we had 7 step process, and I think we did live during the session itself. After me sitting with 4 to 5 pain body sessions, and you asked me to bring him to the we're talking about him and resolving the conflict and spreading the love. And during the whole process of healing out of this, what happened is this particular person has came. He moved to a different department, so that literally it was like a magic. It did not happen for almost like 1 year of a struggle, and exactly after I started working on this whole procedure, within five within 5 to 7 10 days, this guy moved to a different department, and also he left the company as well, and he moved to different he got a better opportunity and one. And even that 1 month where he was there, and also we also not only releasing the conflict, and also we created a kind of a love relationship with. I always used to spend, as part of the process, we have to send a love
Send
letter. We need
loving
to write a,
thoughts. Yeah.
yeah, loving thoughts to him. The moment I started sending a loving thoughts, I can see the behavior change on him. Then only I understood that this is all is my own creation, because I was vibrating with that, and I'm able to experience the same kind of energy from him. The moment I cleaned myself, I could see automatically a different experience, even though that person was, I don't know what he was behaving, but I was not feeling the same experience of what I was going through previously.
Hmm.
So that, and because of that one relationship uh, healed, I could see all other areas of my life also was started happening. I used to attract money. I used to have amazing moments, manifestations used to happen amazingly. So not only that, and during that process, I also transitioned to the new company, which was nowhere in the picture, and everything went like a smooth. And I was able to head the department and so on. So that was
Fantastic.
amazing, the experience. And what I understood during the whole thing, I think one sentence you say, right? So don't shoot the messenger, listen the message. It's became like part of my life. Every single time there's something happens, I always see what is the message. I have to take it from there, and what I have to work internally.
And the message is always clean your emotions, clean
Yeah,
your emotions.
correct,
So,
correct.
firstly, thank you for sharing that story. I want to just kind of, for those who are watching this, kind of put it in context. Is he had this colleague who was making his life miserable, and before he was blaming the colleague, feeling a lot of anxiety, fear, hatred to go to work. Then he came to our programs and decided, okay, don't shoot the messenger, hear the message, which is there's some emotion in me that's a match to this behavior. So he first wrote out a mind cleanse letter where he wrote out everything that he hated about the person, just got it all out, everything he wanted to say, got all that negativity out. And then there's a step process that we have on healing relationships. Those of you who want to know more about healing relationships, I'm doing a 5-day live program, 24th to 28th of June, where I'm teaching you A to Z of everything that we're talking about here, plus 1,000 things more. If you want to register for that one, you can check out a quiz in the description. Take the quiz and see if you're a match for this program, if your relationships need healing. If yes, come, because this is a one-time only program. Come, don't miss it. So he did the mind cleanse, and then he did a lot of pain body healing. So pain body healing is to observe the pain, embrace the pain, and breathe through it until you're empty. So that might take some time. But when you're empty, you're not in the same vibration that you were when you were in pain. So when you're empty, you are actually creating a empty connection between you and that person. So now something new can happen. So then he sent out loving thoughts to that person. You can only send loving thoughts when you're not in hatred, right? So you have to
Yes,
clean a lot of that pain, which you can, everyone can. So you have to decide, do the effort to clean or suffer for the rest of your life. It's always a decision. And
yeah,
then sending loving thoughts establishes this beautiful connect between two people. And then during that time, you all became very close and became
yeah,
loving each other. And then later, he went to a different company, and you furthered in your career. So
yeah.
that is fantastic. If you guys learned something from that, just thank Arvind in the chat for sharing. Arvind, take us through your boss story.
Yes. So yeah, I have a very aggressive boss, and he always, I think, he's more aggressive all the time. He used to abuse, it's verbal abuse, and all of them. So even though I had a very good relation with them, so at one point of a time in my career, it became like so much, what I can say, the hectic I could not able to bear. And what happened was there was one project which supposed to be completed in 12 weeks. So he asked me to come deliver in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And that was the highest stressful environment where I was kept on telling that it's not going to happen because we are talking with a more and the people's data and all of them. And every single day I used to work for 13 to 14 hours, and I could not able to bear all the things, even though I was doing a pain body and all of them. And I was not able to get out of it because every single day I have to face him for 12 to 13 hours every single day. And back and forth was going and all of them. And apart from me working on the same process of what I was doing, and finally, whenever there is some situations goes beyond, right? I think you taught us surrendering to the universe and practicing a timelessness. And finally, I surrendered to the universe, and I said that I need, I need to relieve from this man permanently, and I want a peaceful environment. And please guide me. I don't know. I am your abundant child, and I'm surrendering this problem to you. And you give me a solution. I'll just blindly follow it. And believe me or not, the same day I surrendered, one of my colleague, we both discussed on some idea, and I said, okay, let's try. And I surrendered. The same day, midnight, around 3 o'clock, I got intuition. I was someone is actually playing. What should I do, and how should I come out of it? I just followed blindly, and I just wrote a email that this thing, whatever you're doing, is literally impacting my mental health, and it's something like someone was actually asking me to write in this way the email. And I just sent a email along with my, looping my big boss and all of them. Because that was actual my state. I was just resisting it, not to, express that, rather than me delivering it because the organization is required. But I just put that email, sent it to all my people, and exactly in say the next day morning, they relieved me from that project. They asked me to take a break, get out, get with your own, take your time to relax and come out of that whatever that stress and depression you're going through. And then I worked on the pain body healing consistently. But what happened during this term is, where I was not able to tackle that I was able to, instead of doing 2 weeks, I got almost like 14 weeks to deliver the same project, where it
Hmm.
was unnecessary. And that surrendering became right now, because I use it in every single day. Whenever I some things goes beyond my control, I always surrender, and I wait for intuition. I take instant action. I don't wait for long period and doubt that intuition, but I immediately take a action, and that action will drive you to more inspired actions to take. I just keep taking the action. And over a period of a time, what happened is I was able to express almost like 5 years. We tried multiple times, complained that boss was not changed. And this time, it was like a magic, exactly in 45 days. And he's removed from my department, and he went to a different department. And I got to assign to a boss exactly what I was looking for, and what I have been told that, how my boss should be so understanding, not worry about whatever it is. It's more about giving a freedom to work on my own terms and
So
all
let
of
me
them.
just pause you here for a second. So you had a list in your mind of the conditions you want to experience in a
Yeah,
boss, and you
yeah,
surrendered that, and then the new boss ended up matching what you had, let's say,
yes.
asked of the universe to give you.
Yes, yes. So it was like a magic, and I think during that time also I told you that, I my big boss was upset, and he said that, he said don't come to office, the surrender. And during that time also I was just practicing that, everything happens for a good. And this is the one of the experience which I need to learn something new, and I was keep affirming it. And I think during that time also you are my biggest backbone, that, you just say that everything is fine, just relax. I was just reaffirming this particular sentence. And exactly, and after 3 days, and that whole month is completely shifted, where from me being into a more most what I can say critical kind of environment, where so much of stress, so much of not comfortable with any word to even to talk. And even I could feel during the whole journey as well, Even if I go to him, I could feel that uneasiness in my, before even I go to that room, I could feel that. But after working on and after releasing everything, and right now I can still talk to him. I don't have any kind of emotion right now. After the whole thing completed, I just did the same 7 step process for him as well, and I was able to come out of it completely. So this was a big magic. I think the three things which has really helped is I just had a patience, and I just trusted the universe, and I took the inspired action, whatever the intuition I get
And you cleaned your
along with
pain.
that.
You kept
Yeah, I
cleaning in
cleaned the
and
pain.
out of the
Yeah,
pain.
kept cleaning the pain, and I could see whole my the lot of people came and helped me in this journey. Like my there was a temporary boss who they appointed after me raised this concern, and that person was cleaned everything as if like he's given a full freedom to work in peace rather than going through all this kind of struggle.
Mm.
And then I got assigned to the same boss. I know that which boss I wanted. It was impossible, but I think yeah, it happened like a magic.
Because for you, and I mean, for those who don't know, Arvind is like this vortex of timeless. There's this process I've taught in our courses called timelessness, and he would
Yeah.
do this, and all kinds of crazy magical things like nobody can even imagine will start happening to him.
Yes.
So we always call him the king of timelessness in our academy.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your marriage and how it is so strengthened and how you're so much understanding of the situations, and talk a little bit more about that for our audience who's married or in a relationship and needs some advice.
Yes. So most of the times in a marriage, we think that why partner, you always have some small fights, or it's quite normal. But most of the things earlier, what is a big difference after I did the Healy Fest and after I did the mindful work, is previously every single time, whenever there is any kind of a disagreement happens, any kind of argument happens, I always used to be upset. I always used to be in that low moment, and I always put myself into the conversation rather than listening what other person used to say. I never used to understand what is her point of view. I always been in my point of view, and I feel that she is attacking me on my ego, and all these things used to come. But exactly during the whole journey, there was a situation happened, and we always have argument. But this time, what I could see is I could literally hear what is her pain rather than me putting into that particular thing.
You
So
are
what
like
we
you're just
practice,
being present. You are not
yeah,
putting your
yeah,
ego there. You're just being
yes.
there as a fly on the wall, like no judgment, no resistance, just be there, present. Mm.
Correct. So there is no judgment, no resistance, and I've been more aware. So I could, and even with that, my mindfulness practices, I used to keep even sharing with this. I could able to feel my heartbeat all the time. Even right now, I could feel. I became more aware as a person. Even some people comes and argues and anything, I process it as a calm and present state. And even people get surprised who saw maybe 5, 6 years before and now. My whole way of taking life has been totally shifted, especially this mindfulness and awareness has played a major role. And because of that awareness, I could able to hear her voice, and I could able to say, I know that I was the one who hurted her. Earlier, previously, I used to always defend myself that, you are wrong, I'm not the wrong. But because that present moment and awareness is there, if I was really wrong, and I could able to say sorry to her, and I could able to talk to her openly rather than me putting into that particular conversation, and I could literally able to hear whatever the word she is saying. Even she was very angry on at me on situations, I can literally understand what is her pain rather than me putting into this journey. And because of all this, the tools and techniques, what I learned, there are a couple of things which I really, really impacted in my own relation, especially with my wife, is being more aware, being in the present moment. And always, even though she is showing an anger, I could able to understand what is her point of why she is getting anger. Because there is no trigger. Trigger doesn't happen until and unless both people are involved, right? And the second other thing also I was able to understand is, even though she is upset, I always used to visualize what are the beautiful moments we had together. And I never allowed those thoughts to multiply. I reversed that self to always focus on how beautiful we had. And I used to keep visualization. The same timelessness I used to master with the timelessness. Even right now, where she a little aggressive, but I could understand that is her nature. But in mine, because I know how to handle it, and every single right now our relation is very strong, and any fight or anything happens, I know it will dilute its own. I don't need to do anything because I'm working whatever the concepts and the tools what I use it, and she believes, she doesn't believe it. I use Ho'oponopono sometimes to release whatever the thing is there. I use timelessness, and sometimes it doesn't happen. I surrender to the universe, and I get an idea, and I go and do it. I go some funny thing in front of her, and she becomes normal. And but more than anything is I become open, very open to her. If I was wrong, I can go and say her. I can sit with her and talk to her, and that created a lot of strong bonding between us. And with the two kids, even though she has a lot of stress and all of that, but this all things I was able to do with my job, my business, and all of these things. I think one of the biggest blessing from all the course, whatever I can say, is mindfulness. That awareness, that present moment, is the biggest blessing for me
I
from
just
the.
I just want to stop
Yeah,
you here. For those who don't to put it in context, what he's saying is this thing called presence.
yeah,
Presence is when you're fully in your body observing something without you going in your mind and getting defensive, and you're here. You're fully here. You're like a fly on the wall. You're in a very empty state. So when you're in an empty state, you become a mirror for the other person. It's like that person will see themselves, and they themselves will calm down, and they themselves will become okay, because you're not you're not defensive, you're not
yeah,
fighting, you're just in a very empty state. This is called presence. It's something you can build. It's part of the mindfulness work. And you also send loving, you also send loving thoughts. You did
yeah,
Ho'oponopono to heal some of the emotions. So there's presence, there's pain body, there's Ho'oponopono, there's loving thoughts, there's timelessness to visualize you guys being, normal again, and to bring back all the positive memories that you had. So all of those things kind of reestablish that beautiful link and
yeah,
strengthened the marriage, as opposed to before. It could have gone in worse directions, but you
correct.
found that this inner healing process created a stronger link between you guys.
Yes, not only that, Kartika, and I also see my kid, right? The relationship with the kid has been very strong bonding. Even if he cries, he was anger, I could able to understand. I don't get frustrated because of his behavior, because it's we know that he is upset for something, and rather than I also do the same timelessness. I will visualize all the funny moments where we go to play area, we have fun, we are laughing, all these moments. Instantly we could see the changes in his the behavior. And
Mm.
my wife always used to think, what magic you're doing, when he'll talk, you will do something and he'll become normal. But when I so she's
It's
still
uh,
understanding, but so I
It's
could
a
see
basically people are everyone has a link between each other. If there
yeah,
is judgment, there is pain, it's like a muddy waters. It's not clear. When the
yeah,
pain and the judgment is cleaned off from one person, the link gets cleaner. So there's cleaner experiences that you have. If those of you, again, I'm telling you, if you want to learn more about what I'm talking about for your relationships, 24th to 28th, we have a live program called the Relationship Makeover Magic. We're talking about magic. What magical
yeah,
powers do you have? And then suddenly conflict starts like melting away and people are like shifted. So many things you can do. If you want to learn about that, please come in the description. You'll find the quiz to take. And if you see that your relationships need transmutation and transformation, then once you finish the quiz, it will take you to the product and the program. You can jump in. Yes, so essentially there is this link, and all you're doing is just
yeah.
clearing the link. So even when the other person, so do you notice that she's less aggressive now or less angry
Yeah.
now than before?
I think she's same, but it is all about my perception. I used to feel that she is anger, but she is trying to express. That's her way of expression, and I
Mm.
could see that the time of she is being upset is reduced drastically. She used to be upset for
But
a long
you
period
also
of a time.
see the harmonious moments, the
Yeah,
loving, the romantic
yeah,
has gone more than it was before.
yeah, hundred
Yeah.
percent. And one of the best thing, what happened is I could able to deal every situation. There is nothing, any fight I know how to resolve it in the same day. I don't need to prolong that for the following day and
Mm.
being upset with that, because
Mm.
I'm being more aware. I know that because you become like, as you mentioned, right? You become like empty. There is nothing to
It just
there
goes
is
through.
nothing to bother. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing to
nothing is
bother. There's no
bothering you.
reflection. Yeah, it is all dilute. It will all flow into.
Yeah.
You know how to handle it, and you know that when you don't have answer, you given a mantra that surrender to the universe. I
Yeah.
strongly. I
Yes.
think that has been a biggest blessing in my life. So every
I had
single
a
time.
I had a
Yeah,
friend who said this, that at night she goes to the rooftop and she just surrenders all her questions to the universe. And then she's like,
yeah,
now I can't sleep because I'll suddenly wake up with the insight and I'll suddenly wake up with an answer, or I'll come and then now I have to, like, write it down somewhere. Just like, that's why I can't sleep. I have insomnia because I always surrender my questions and but answers will come when I'm sleeping. So yeah, but that is absolutely true. Learning to trust the higher intelligence to give you a way out is always, there's so many things to learn here, but I
yes,
hope putting it all together, and I think this would be a good ending point for the video,
yeah.
is you were talking
I,
about.
I just wanted to add one more thing, Kartika, is one of the biggest thing what I saw in the courses is we do live. And most of the things is you do something and then you go back and do. Because of the busy schedule, you will not. But most of the things where I could see real transformation is we are doing it live. There is no other way of you are already practicing it and you're mastering it at the same time.
In the
So that was
session.
the biggest in the session. Yeah, that was the biggest shift I could see because I'm able to see the lot of results is happening and I become more consistent with my practice as
Mm.
well.
Yeah, HeliFest is coming up.
Yeah.
HeliFest is coming up. HeliFest 2.0
Wow.
is coming in September. And this
From
time HeliFest has LIF in it. So it is,
wow.
so if you see HeliFest, Heli LIF Fest.
And
Uh,
then first.
we are doing, yeah, we are doing it together this year. So we have
Awesome.
both combination of LIF and Healy Fest this year. And for those who don't know Healy Fest, I'm not selling you because it's not yet come out, but it is 111 days of healing and manifesting in all areas of life with
Yeah.
a lot of wisdom from all these philosophies we are talking about: timelessness and mindfulness and presence and surrender and connection and being empty and all the magic we are going to be doing there as well. So if you want to know more about that, just send us an email, but we don't have links yet, but just I'm just seeding it in your mind. But what we do have is a dedicated course for relationships. I've told you enough about it. It is 24th to 28th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, live via Zoom. Find out more information in the description, take the quiz and see if that is for you. And I think that's a good ending point for today. Is there any major advice you want to give people for their relationships before we end?
I think there's only one advice I want to give. So the problem with the relationship, what you're going through, is something which you need to work internally. I think this is the best opportunity to work 5 days dedicatedly and learn all these tools. I think most of the times what people miss is a tool and skills. I think that is what you get it these once. I think once you learn these tools and skills, you can use for rest of your life. So you don't need to again and again
Keeps giving.
go with the one more new things. But at the end, once you know how to clean, how to heal, and how to vibrate with the higher energy, you can use those tools for rest of your life. I
Yeah.
think I can only say that instead of solving the problems, learn the skills so that you can do it for yourself for rest of your life.
And not create that many conflicts and
Yeah,
not create that many. So I mean, we're still, of course, Arvind is still on a journey. He's continuously cleaning. Everyone's still on that journey, but
yeah,
you end up like living in new dimensions of how beautiful
correct.
your relationships can be. And don't shoot the messenger, hear the message, which is heal your own pain that comes up, which clears you and puts you in a different vibration for different experiences. And it's not just his story. We have so many
Yeah,
stories of people. You guys yourself would have done Ho'oponopono and seen magic happening in your relationships, or
correct.
shifted something inside to see suddenly your husband bought you something of gold, or suddenly your partner took you out for a trip and they never did that. Why is their behavior shifting when your internal energy shifts? That is what we're going to talk about in this course. I invite you to come. But even if you don't come, you have all these tools that you learned today: sending loving thoughts, healing your pain. Use
Yeah,
Ho'oponopono. All the free resources are there on my channel only to learn if you want to. Being mindful, being present, non-judgment, non-resistance, using visualization to visualize yourself in a harmonious situation, remembering all the good times you've had with that person. So many tools that can
yeah.
clean vibration between you and that person and create beautiful experiences with them. So I think that's a good ending point. Thank you so much, Arvind, for sharing.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
yes,
so much, Karthik. I think every time I come live, I think I have amazing energy. I'm still carrying that energy. And I think there's one last point which I also mention is what I understood is it's not about one. Every stage of your life, you have a different kind of skills and tools. You may be using a same, but maybe different aspects of your life. I think this
mm,
has to be your lifestyle until and unless it doesn't become a lifestyle. You need to keep working on yourself, and the learning and working on yourself is lifelong. So that is what
consist-
I wanted to. Yeah,
yeah,
consistency is what
consistency
I
is a
I,
big part.
I
Yeah.
also remember one amazing word you told in the Bangalore meetup. So we always jump from that place to, but we keep retracing to the old place again and again, until and unless we strongly create that foundation with the new identity and the new person, and you go to the next stage and next stage and next stage, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kartika, and it was lovely talking to you. And
Lovely
looking
connecting to
forward
you.
to start the relationship journey.
Yes. How exciting. And there are some courses you just have that inner feeling how strong it's going to be
Yeah,
before the courses even come to life. Of course, I have the whole thing created, but what I create versus what ends up happening in the live call is like it's like the generally what happens in for courses is like the whole universal forces
wanted
join
to.
in
Yeah,
together in the live classes, and suddenly right before I go live, my whole PPT is changed, and I'm like, "Kada, kada, 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 I have to
yeah,
do add this additional stuff, which will be exactly what people needed to hear that day. So I'm excited
yes.
for that. We just finished 30 days of this course called Magical Dates with Money. Just today was the last session. It was a high. People were like money raining. It was similar to AA,
And
almost like AA, but we sold it for
I
literally
also wanted to share. I
5,000
think
rupees.
from the time I joined that 30 days magic, I think I could see again next level shift in my finances, especially my trading business has grew last 2 months. We made almost like 50%
Yes.
profit, and only in my account has grown to 40 lakhs, and overall my investors amount has grown to 1 crore.
Everything is energy. Congratulations. It's all consistently plugging in. That's the whole point. Just stay
Yes,
plugged in.
and
This
it
course is
becomes like a new
helping.
normal. It's become like a new normal, Kartika. So
Yeah.
what do you say, right? Whether you do practices, you don't do practices, you're already in that energy. I'm into. I'm literally could see uh, that
It's
kind
just
of.
who you are. It
Yeah,
just becomes who you
correct.
are. That's great, great things. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Arvind, for sharing your journey.
Thank you, Kartika.
And look forward to seeing you guys in another video. And again, check out the
Take care.
description.
Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye.